The Coastal Collegiate Baseball League here in Jacksonville is a wood bat summer league, and they are doing really well this summer. A pleasure to welcome in the VP of Operations, Fran Delaney, joins us on River City Hardball. Fran, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'd be better if we were out there playing right now instead of sitting up here and Chris is out there working on the field. But it's good. It's good.
Yeah, the weather has not cooperated with us for the last little bit. For a long time, we didn't have any rain in Jacksonville, and now it seems like we're getting it all at once. Fran, what's this been like this summer? I've really had the pleasure of meeting a lot of the players. Met one of the managers yesterday. I got to meet Shaggy via Zoom, and that was cool. What's this whole thing been like for you?
It's been great. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's been a lot of work. I mean, we've been humping it between Chris and I. You know, it's really a two-man show. Besides the interns and the coaches have helped out tremendously with the fields and things like that. But it's been wonderful. I mean, it's way better than what we expected. And I say that from a standpoint of we didn't know what to expect. Right? We were scared. We didn't know if we are going to have the teams were going to be right and competitive, if, we're going to have good enough players or good people and, good kids. And it turned out, I mean, I think we've hit it out of the park, so to speak, with what we've gotten so far.
You mentioned Chris Lean is with you as well on this operation. When did this idea come about? How did you guys put it into motion? Because it's really gone well.
Last August, Chris was, I know the earlier podcast you saw this where he talked about his son was, playing down in the league down in South Florida. And he called me out of the blue and he's like, hey, why is there not a league in Jacksonville? I was like, I don't know. And he said, well, let's start one. And then I thought to myself after I hung up, why did I say that? That's a lot of work. Why are we doing this? But it needed it. Jacksonville needed it. A lot of people have reached out to me in the baseball community saying that they've been wanting to do something like this for a while, but no one's really stepped up to kind of just get it rolling. And we decided, why not? Let's give it a shot, see what we can do. And it's turned out pretty good. I mean, we got a lot of momentum, and it was a great idea, but God, it was so much work we had to figure out because we did not know what we were doing when we started off.
Well, I know in talking to Chris in an earlier podcast, he mentioned that he just sent out a couple of emails, and then 1 to 2 emails, turned into 10, turned into 25, and then he's got maybe hundreds of emails to coaches and players, and just kind of spread from there, right?
Yeah, guys all over are looking to play. I mean, they're looking for a place to play, and it's summer break for them. I mean, you want to go in the middle of, not that there's anything wrong with going in the middle of the country and playing, but I mean, it's Jacksonville, the beaches, the Florida sun. I mean, why not? It escalated from there. We started a Twitter account and Facebook and had people, following people and following back and getting questions, and it just kind of rolled. We really didn't do a whole lot of advertising. It's really just through some emails and Twitter and a little bit of Facebook. So it's been tremendous.
Yeah, I've been trying to do my part to try to spread the word, which is fun.
It.
Yeah, it's fun. I'd love to see all these guys get opportunities to play in the summertime, especially here in Jacksonville. With the wood bat part of it, I love that part because it gets college players ready. If there is a next level for them, that gets them a little bit more ready for it.
Yeah, and it improves their batting when they get back. I mean, hitting with a wood bat, everyone, people do it all summer at all levels because it does improve your bat. You have to be more precise by hitting it on the, hitting it off the barrel and compared to the aluminum bats. But it improves your skills. And I think the guys love it too. It's a different sound, right? It's that cool sound you hear when you go to a major league ballpark compared to anywhere else.
Yeah, for sure. I've talked to guys that have been playing from Iowa, New York. I actually talked to a guy the other day from California, and it's funny because we were actually talking about like the differences between California baseball and Florida. And he said that when you get down to Florida, the competition's just different. Like he said, we're talking about how guys throw harder, guys, hit the ball further. I mean, are you seeing a pretty good level of competition out there?
Yeah, I'll be honest. When it first started, we were a little worried because we were getting scores that were like 16-15, and I thought, oh man, this is Friday night beer league softball going on out here. But a lot of it were guys were pressing, right? They were trying to impress each other. They're trying to, I'm going to throw it hard, and then they're settled in and started playing ball, and we're seeing a lot of good baseball. There's just so much talent, not in just this area, but all over the country when it comes to baseball. And it's right. It is a different area. I mean, when people go off to play in different areas, whether it's Texas, whether it's up the Northeast, The Northeast doesn't get to play year round like we do down here. So, the skill level is a little bit different. And I think the guys are right. And it's a good test for a lot of them. And it's a lot of them kind of coming back home to get back to the baseball they're used to when they go off to school.
You guys are playing at JP Small and then also Atlantic Coast High School. What have those facilities been like for you?
They've been wonderful. I mean, Atlantic Coast here in Duval County School, public school, is one of the nicest facilities in town. JP Small, the history around JP Small is great. And I know, like a lot of people in town, JP Small, they're like, oh, it's cool. It's a good place. But they've been there a couple of times. They're like, it's a stadium down there. But folks from out of town are just like, man, this place is awesome. Parents love it because they got covered seating, and it's just a cool place to go play. The history there is great. And so it's good to hear, it's good. We got to get people out there playing. We want to get, inner city kids involved. We're trying to schedule a clinic, out there. We can have a clinic and then play a doubleheader and have the kids stay and watch the games and stuff like that. So we're working on some of that stuff, but it's been great. And Atlantic Coast and Aaron Bass has been wonderful to us here with the fields, and we couldn't ask for anything better. And like I said, the kids think the field is playing really well, and that's all that matters.
Absolutely. Fran Delaney with us, VP of Operations for the Coastal Collegiate Baseball League in their inaugural season here in Jacksonville in the summer. Fran, how did you come up with the Turtles, the Dolphins, and the Marsh Hawks?
Oh, God, we went back and forth on that forever, Chris and I. And Tori, Chris is we call her the vice president of everything. She really runs the show behind the scenes. But we went back and forth on a lot of things, color schemes. We didn't want dark colors because it was going to be hot. We didn't want this. And we just started putting logos together, and we wanted to keep it something that was geared towards Jacksonville, something that identified with our city. The animals were like beaches, turtles, and then, Southside. We thought about Southside sharks and different things. We just kind of went back and forth, and eventually we just narrowed it down. And, we got 6 of them out there if you look at our website. But, we're hoping to get 2 more teams next year, even more. So if we get more, I don't know where we're going to go with it next. We're going to have to start naming birds and different birds and figuring, maybe a snake here or there. I don't know.
Yeah, you led me to my next question, which is, you're looking for expansion next year, possibly?
We'd love it. I mean, we'd love to. I mean, the biggest key is we don't want to put any player in jeopardy, right? And the biggest players that are in jeopardy during these times are really pitching. You don't want to overpitch anybody. We want the coaches to trust us with their kids when they send them down here in the summer to play. I say kids, young men, when they come down here to play. And so we want to make sure there's enough pitchers available to pitch during the season and not, hurt. And that was one of the reasons we probably could have added another team this year, but we wouldn't have enough pitching to support it. And that's just not what we want to do. We want to support the kids. It's for them getting extra look. It's for them possibly getting seen by somebody, and it's for them getting an extra work.
What has been the feedback from the coaches around the country, players around the country to what you guys have been doing?
It's been great. I mean, the kids here have been great. They've talked to friends on Twitter. We've had people reach out to us. And I know it's little things. Kids are following us now, see what the league's about and things like that. So that's important, and then finding out what our kids are doing when they leave here in the off season. I mean, in the regular season. But it's been really positive, and it's been positive here in Jacksonville with the baseball community. And I think that's the most important thing, because that'll drag a lot of kids or pull a lot of kids in, hometown kids. And, if they bring 1 or 2 kids from the team, they're out of town, then that's great.
You got a few more weeks left of this. How long do you have left in this season? And when do you think you guys will start up again next summer?
Yeah, next summer, we'll start up again in September, reaching out to coaches so we can build the pitching staffs along with players. And we want to get started early so, we get things rolling. We have about 4 weeks left. I think it's July 25th or 26th is like the playoffs and then the championship. It's really simple format. We're just going to have – we got 4 teams. They play each other. 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3. The winners play each other the next day or 2 days later, and we crown a champion. So it's not going to be anything outstanding or drawn out. So I think it's about 4 weeks, about halfway through the season is what I'm guessing. I think it's the end of this month. Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to Chris the other day, and he said, I think we're about halfway through. So that's about the mark of where you guys are.
It's been great.
Fran, you're also the VP of JUA, the Jacksonville Umpires Association. How have you been able to get some umpires out there?
Well, we've been using college umpires. One of the keys I thought as an umpire, these kids need to be able to see a college strike zone and understand, they get a little more, they're young men, so they get a little more rope when they're arguing a call, right? Because as they get older compared to high school where it's kind of shut down pretty quick as far as that goes. So I wanted to make sure we had college umpires. So I worked with, some of the local guys that have worked in college around town. We got some guys that come in from Lake City and Orlando to work some games. So they're all college umpires. They all do ball all the way up from Division I down to, NAIA, junior colleges and things like that. So again, everyone out here is a college umpire. So, they're seeing college zones and those type of things.
And you've got background as an umpire yourself, right?
Yeah, a little bit, about 22 years, 22 years of people yelling at me. So yeah.
What levels have you umpired at for 22 years?
I did a little bit when I was up in Georgia before I moved down here. I did a little bit of college, but it was, mostly junior college up in that area. But most of it's been high school experience. For me, I like the high school level. I'm too old now and really too slow and too out of shape, I'll say, to run around those young kids out there. I actually worked an inning and a half the other day because we had an umpire issue and they couldn't make it. And I jumped out there. Luckily it rained because that first inning they ran me ragged. So, but it's fun. I like being out with the kids because they are a lot of fun when they're out there. It's fun to hear them talking back and forth with each other and getting to know them and things like that. So yeah, I've been around a while.
A few more minutes here with Fran Delaney here on River City Hardball. 22 years is a long time. I want to ask you as we wrap up about Major League Baseball and this crackdown on the foreign substances. What's your take on all that as an umpire?
A little ridiculous, because it really puts I'll say this about a lot of rules when they make rule changes like that, right? It puts a lot of pressure on the umpire. It makes the umpire and the player and the coach become more against each other. And really, umpires just doing their job. They're told to do this. If you don't like the rule, I can't help it. It's the rule. And I think it's ridiculous. If you think something's going on, you check somebody, then that's fine. I'm not smart enough to know what helps with more spin rate and all those. I don't know. Anybody can say anything. It is what it is. But I don't like it. I think it's bad for the game because it adds to the aggravation of umpires. And as an umpire, I'm going to protect the umpires. It adds to everyone, they hate us just a little bit more because they think we're out. We're just, those are the rules. We're told to take care of the rules, and that's the way it is.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's brand new for a lot of these guys because interestingly, I was talking to Brett Myers, who pitched in Major League Baseball for 13, 14 years, and I was asking him, what was common back when you played, and he said, the sunscreen and rosin was all over the place, like it was used everywhere. And I actually heard from somebody indirectly that some guys I've been taught in the minor leagues to use sunscreen and rosin. Now, I think the spider tack stuff, that's a whole nother level. I think that's totally illegal. And guys that have used that, I think have seen a drop in their stuff, to be honest with you a little bit. And you can tell a little bit who's been reliant on that and who hasn't. And I think that, it is kind of ridiculous. I do agree with that.
Yeah, it's not, why now? It's always the thing, like, why now? Why all of a sudden did it come up? Who got mad at who to cause this to come up this way is what it comes down to. So I don't know. I think it just adds to it. We got a lot of rules at the high school level and college level. They change. It seems like they just change them. And I don't know why. I don't know where there's an advantage of this, but it is what it is. And, it's part of the game.
Well, I think the sticking point, I guess, if you will, was like, 4 no-hitters in May was like, okay, well, something's clearly going on here. So I think that's probably the point at which they said, all right, we got to figure something out. But to me, it's like, if part of it is they want to try to speed up the game a little bit, well, now you're trying to add like airport security to like pat these guys down for substances. It's like, come on, let's.
Correct. And it's funny you say, the no hitters, right? I think part of that, may have to do with that, but I also think part of that is, the players today. A lot of players are striking out more. A lot of players are hitting for power. So I think there's more players out there swinging for power. You see it at all levels. You don't see a lot of small ball anymore. You see a lot of guys, you have the argument. I see it all the time on Twitter. I'm never going to bunt, coaches say, and I'll never bunt, and I'll never do this. But I think that's just the way baseball's changing a little bit. So you got a lot more guys hitting for power, and they're taught that at a young age. And it's like, just try to hit for power. Try to, hit home runs, and, they strike out more. I mean, home run hitters strike out. I don't care how, you can go as far back as you can in baseball, and leading home run hitters are pretty close to leading strikeouts during the season. So I think it's one of those things that you're seeing with the no-hitters also.
Yeah, that's right. Fran, as we wrap things up, what's been your favorite part of the Coastal Collegiate Baseball League this summer?
I don't know if there's a favorite part, but a lot of things are fun. Like just being out here, every day, watching these guys play and getting to know them. I mean, we got some characters out here, some really funny guys. We got some great talent. The coaches have been great. Being out here with Chris, working together with him has been great. It's sometimes when you do these things, you find somebody that, you disagree on a lot of things, and there's times we disagree, but normal times it's just like we make a decision, we move on. And that's been a great part of it. But the number one thing is seeing these kids enjoy themselves. I mean, they're having fun. I mean, all the interviews, the first thing they say is being around the guys, and they're fun. And they know each other from each team. They're talking to each other. They know their names. They just have fun out here. And, that's what we want it to be. Get better, compete, but enjoy the time here. Go out to the beach, when you got a day off. Go to St. Augustine. Go do – enjoy the time with the people, with the guys. I mean, this means a lot. Anyone who's done summer baseball, which I never did because I was a football guy. But, so the thing is, those times are just priceless. You'll remember them forever. And as long as they're having fun, that's all we care about. We just want to enjoy it. And I've had a lot of fun with them. I'm kind of like goofing around with people, and that's one of the things I've enjoyed the most. And building a league, we got a punch list of about 2,000 things that we need to make sure we do next year that we didn't do this year right away. So that's the fun part of it, seeing it grow and just being happier every week as the baseball gets better and better. And it's been just tremendous for us and for me. And I'm sure speaking for Chris, he'd say the same thing.
It's awesome. I really love what you guys are doing. You've poured a lot of work, a lot of effort into it, and I'm glad that you're seeing the success that you are. Fran Delaney, VP of the Coastal Collegiate Baseball League and also the Jacksonville Umpires Association. Thanks so much for doing this, and best of luck moving forward, Fran. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We really appreciate what you do for us. Here comes Chris walking in right now. We really appreciate what you do for us. And just hide behind my big old head. Really appreciate what you've done for us. It's really awesome. The kids love it. I mean, the kids say this is great. Like they get a chance to get out there and talk baseball with you, and it's been awesome. Thank you for doing what you do for us.